Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Your host Superman in the house, and hey, look, we've got green candles today, so that's good news, guys. Green candles, and it is Sunday in New Zealand, midday. It is mostly, I think, kind of a sunny day outside, and I'm going to test it out later on. But yeah, it's pretty good. Now tomorrow's going to be Sunday in the US. Now normally it's either flat or down most of the time, but will it be up on the cards today? At least for tomorrow US time. So will Sundays be a great day? Will we actually really have a good day? Well, so far it's turning out to be a bit of a recovery at the moment, and we're enjoying it. So that's kind of cool. We're going to check out some of the hottest ones on the market right now, and that's going to be, we're going to cover Gladiator games, and of course Gladiator games with their Roam token started to really rally last night. It has been paired with PCock, and we got that announcement from the founder Jason from Gladiator Games. And boy, what an incredible run it's having overnight. And we're going to check in on that. Also, tournament day it's tournament 6. And of course, it is the second day, essentially. I think the second day, just starting up. So there's plenty of time to get in there and start battling away for the prizes, over $1,200 of prizes. So we're going to talk about that too. Obviously, we're going to get into talking about PTGC. Now, one of the blue chips that's been rotated out of, probably into Vouch and other things. But looks like it's starting to move back up the ranks. So we're going to look at that. And we're going to cover Vouch, of course, the number one validator on PulseChain, which is also, I guess, on the move as well. So we'll talk about that. And then XGame, of course, which we're expecting to launch before the end of October. We're going to look at that price and see where that's at right now. I got a question yesterday about XGame and SolidX. Now, I have answered this before, essentially around rotation, but we're going to look at that as well. Obviously, with the SolidX price coming down fairly dramatically from $8-9 down to $3.30 or so. So we're going to talk about that as well. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So there's a lot to say about that. Let's see it. We got the Monster Thread, weekly Monster Thread number 24. Can you believe it? Weekly Monster Thread number 24 coming out tomorrow. So I look forward to that. It's obviously just hugely popular. And we've got MVS Crypto, the promotional lead for the Kryptonite Show, and editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread, always working out on that every single week. It's going to be week 24. Can you believe it? Only a couple of weeks away from 6 months of the Monster Thread, PulseChain's hottest weekly news, and of course a publication of the Kryptonite Show, and it has been a major contributor, especially while we're still in a down cycle or bear market for PulseChain. PulseChain's season is coming though. Richard Hart, of course, has talked about that. So he's focused solely on PulseChain season. He doesn't care about altcoin season. He's really about PulseChain season. We're excited about that, and we saw a post from Rack and Michelle encouraging the community about that too. So we will look at that also. So pretty exciting. Lots in store at the moment, and we're going to have a good time. But first, we're going to check up on the crypto markets overall. We're going to get into some Richard posts, and then we're going to get into we're going to cover Rack and Michelle quickly as well. So that's going to be really cool. And then, of course, we're looking for Coinwell, his platform, to launch in early November. So XGame end of October, Coinwell beginning of November. I think that's pretty awesome. The two biggest whales launching their projects on PulseChain. Come on, that's pretty exciting. And you got the low base of PulseChain price there. Still got an uptrend. We've still got a higher low. And we managed to hold on to that 2,700 position yesterday. And it looks like we're going green now. So is it the next run? The next run setting up for the old PulseChain. Of course, we're looking to break away from the triangle. We're going to talk about PulseChain as well, because that's what we do. That's how we roll. All right, so that's going to be a lot of fun, but let's just get into it. Don't forget to get in the chat there as well. First of all, share the show around on X. It really does help a lot. And of course, do that for all the influencers that are coming PulseChain and your cryptos that you love. So get out there, folks. All right, without further ado, let's get into the crypto market and see where we're at right now, taking stock. We did see Tom Lee. Before we do that, we did see Tom Lee on quite a few shows Very bullish still on crypto, of course. When you have a little pullback like this, a big liquidation event, people get a little bit shaken. But shaken, is it over? Do we not even get altcoin season? Well, no, he's pretty bullish, so keep a lookout for that. And he'll be buying Ethereum up right now, like a boss. So we're looking forward to a disclosure from them tomorrow. For I think it's tomorrow. No, 2 days time, probably for the Bitmine mission there on Monday. All right. I don't know if they put it out on Sunday or Monday. Probably Monday. Monday is probably the most logical point. He does work 7 days a week just about, so not surprised. We got Sean O'Malley. He's back. Good morning, legends. Good to see you, Sean. Big shout out and welcome. All right, so let's get into the crypto markets. In fact, let's go full screen. I think I normally go full screen, don't I, on the old crypto markets. So we've got 3.73 trillion right now, and it is up 0.5%. I guess it's Saturday night in the US or Saturday afternoon, and it is midday here in New Zealand on Sunday. So we're obviously about 19 hours ahead, I think, something like that. And we're at the bottom of the world as well, and we didn't fall off it either. So that's kind of cool. That's good news, guys. If you're going to be taking a yacht down over the Pacific, down to New Zealand, you won't fall off the edge of the earth. All I'm saying. But of course, you may not make it. I mean, the Pacific's massive, and it's not gentle, not gentle. Sean says bottom is in and up only. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like that too. Looking at the chart, and we got that high low. We'll talk about that coming up though too. More about that. All right, so we've got Bitcoin. $107,165, up 0.3%. We've got Ethereum at 38.87, up 1.1%. We've got BNB at number 4, up 1.6% at $1,091. XRP at number 5, up 2.1%, so a nice little move there at $2.36. Solana up 2.2% at $187, so I think number 6. Number 9 is Tron, up 1.2% at 31 cents. And number 10 there is Doge, up 1.9%. And of course, the rest of them are stable coins, aren't they? Or staked ETH. So not we're talking about Cardano or ADA there. So I think number 11 is at 1.1%. And so let's have a quick look at the best performer over the last 24 hours has been Solana, up 2.2%. Best performer over the last week has been Solana as well, up 5.7%. So there we go. Let's have a look at the top 100. We got Chain Opera again and again and again, up 52% for the week. But Tensor Tau also up there, and that is up 34%. And then we've got Athena there, up 25%. Binance Stakes Solana is 8.7%, and then Pump Fun they're also up 7.2%. So those are our leaders at the moment in the top 100. Top 1,000, we've got Paparazzi Token, BNB Attestation Service, and Baby Shark Universe. I think we've looked at BNB Attestation before. Paparazzi Token, I think we may have looked at that, but let's have a quick look at it and see why that is performing. That's up. It's number 599 in the top 1,000, and it's pretty volatile. You can see that it's had a big run and then a big dump, and then maybe it's a bit of a relief rally. That's not often be a trap, isn't it? It's a trap. What's that, Star Wars? The trap. Oh, that big fish creature. But it's having a bit of a relief rally right now, at least. It was just below 1 cent now at 2.2 cents. It's on I forget what chain that is, but Solana, is it something like that? Can't remember now. But that is Paparazzi Token. We normally at the website, don't we? So we might as well do that. All right, English. I want the English Paparazzi. So there we go. It's got pictures of ladies posted and featured, some charts. I don't know. It's kind of a community site from the looks of it. Paparazzi, I guess, taking pictures of stars or something. Personalities. Who's the star these days? That's the thing, right? Who's the star these days? Not just Hollywood anymore, right? It's Instagrams and Instagram and all the rest of them. What else? We've got BNB. We looked at that already. Baby Shark Universe. So look at that. That's number 825. It's been around since August this year, and it's having a rally off the local bottom of 14.5 cents, now 25 cents. So basically, not quite a 2x, but doing pretty well on BNB chain. There we go. That's pretty much it. Baby Shark Universe looks like a meme coin. Now trending is Pump Fun, Bitcoin, and BitTensor or BitTensor Tau, and those are trending right now. So that's our quick review for the week for the crypto. So we've had that big pullback, big liquidation event, and here we are sitting still over $100,000 for Bitcoin. That's going to be pretty positive. And you might as well pick up Ethereum where it is, because that's where Tom Lee is picking it up, and he'll be eating that up quick. because he's got to buy 6 million coins, and he's only bought half of that now. So, and then you got you got others that are out there also trying to buy the stuff up. So, but Tom Lee is well ahead of the curve there. Tom Lee is well ahead of the curve. All right, so that is our coverage for the old crypto generally, and then we're going to get into PulseChain. We're going to start off with Richard Hart and stuff like that, but don't forget to get in the chat there as well, and share the channel around. Don't forget to share the show. That is the link there, right there. We'll give people a moment just to hit the repost button. And yeah, so what else are we going to talk about? Now, if you're wondering what I'm drinking today, it's what it's called Avalanche. It's kind of like, it's supposed to be like a coffee, but it's like a real mild coffee, like it's almost like a halfway between a mild coffee and a hot chocolate. It's kind of like that. So it's actually a pretty good combo. Woohoo! And so yeah, it's Avalanche. I think you can buy them in Australia. I think you can. I may be wrong about that. Maybe you can buy them in Australia. You can buy them in New Zealand, of course, but I think you might be able to buy them in Australia. All right, let's get going. Let's talk about Richard Hart. Anyone want to talk about Richard Hart? Yeah, me. Let's do it. All right, so we've got Richard Hart here, and he says, when does October start? So yeah, he had this sort of X storm the last 2 days, and then he calmed down a little bit over the last sort of 24 hours. But we did get when does October start? Well, when Richard kicks in, I don't know. But we got Nick Hellman there. He's got an answer for the Crypto Paradise show. He says after the big gold run this year, the rotation from gold will fuel it. So there's definitely some shared buyers of gold that are in crypto. So that's from Nick Hellman. You go check that out. He's doing a great job with Amaru and Nate over on the Crypto Paradise show. And of course, the other big daily show that's on every day around PulseChain. But we are getting a few others that are really stepping up to the plate. And that's great to see out in the community. And there's a couple others that are starting, larger streamers that are starting to do more regular stuff. We've seen David Feder move to weekday. We've got C7 up in the UK doing public and private shows, probably at least 6 days a week, maybe. I don't know, 5 days. You let me know. And we got a few others out there as well. So we've got a lot of the X spaces are going on like real fire right now. We've got Panos out there, Execute, Tam, Crypty Girl. So we have getting quite a cool stuff happening on X as well. So shout out to all those people. I think RH Max he's normally pretty regular. I don't know if he's been doing some other stuff lately. I haven't seen as much from him lately, but RH Max is out there doing a lot of good stuff. Kind of cool. And then there's cryfagging. All right, enough of that. Let's move on. All right, so that is kind of cool. They're from Richard Hart, which is kind of neat. So all right, so that is where we're going there. Let's go into Rack and Michelle. Rack and Michelle posted this out. This is not what I was actually trying to look at, but he did this rap on his. This is not what I was going to be talking about, but he did this PulseChain rap on the Cybertruck, and it's pretty amazing. Look at this thing. Imagine a Cybertruck looking like that driving around. Man, that is crazy. Let me just zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah, I should just go back up because it's a little bit nappy. But yeah, look at that. Amazing. Those colors just pop in there with the old PulseChain colors there on the Cybertruck. Let's see how it goes. Look at that. That's how it's done, folks. That's how you earn the big bucks. Wrapping, I'm sure, it's probably not that cheap, is it? But it takes a bit of finesse, takes a bit of accuracy, a bit of lineman skill there. Look at that, guys! Wow. Look at that. That's badass. You got to admit that's absolutely blinging. That is huge. Look at that thing. Damn, that looks good. That makes it look so much better than just the normal silver. The normal sort of futuristic gray. That's pretty badass. So that is pretty amazing. So that was posted there by Rackham, and I did get a lot of views on that. Yeah, 16,000 views. It's pretty decent. Those have been organic too, I'd imagine. But yeah, wow. So pretty cool. What else did we got? Sean says, I'll be in the land on the long white cloud tomorrow, says Sean. He's talking about New Zealand there. Well, that's going to be exciting, Sean. You're coming. The weather's just started to turn up, so as an Australian, you won't feel too uncomfortable. If you'd come like a week ago or earlier, you would have been like bloody cold in New Zealand. You've been like that, but it's not too bad now. 55555. DJ and Hexkin in the house there. Big shout out and smack the like on the way, and definitely do that, guys. Definitely do that, and don't forget to share the show. There we go. Bam. That's the link there. Take a moment and hit the repost button, guys. It's that easy. Let's get the show out, man. Daily shows on Flamin' PulseChain and crypto. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's go. All right, so we are getting ready to rumble, man. We got also Reckon put another post I thought was quite interesting. He said, facts. Facts, he says. EHEX and PHEX to $1. Woohoo! I like it. I like it. You know, it's always good when the biggest sacrifice of a PulseChain and PulseX with this little consortium are pumping out EHEX and PX to $1. Hex does not need an altcoin rally. How about that? Like, share it, comment. There, it's looking awesome there. So everyone is believing and seeing that Hex is going to do its thing again. Second time, second season, second rally, second cycle, whatever you want to call it. It's on the move there. Now, the thing is, we're waiting for Coinwell, right? We're waiting for Coinwell, and he's going to have at least four other companies launching. So we're excited about that. This is going to be a blue chip offering, so don't expect it to be, the normal community kind of launch. It is designed and targeted towards institutional investors and the stock market and potential NASDAQ listing, possible links to the White House and Donald Trump Jr. all that. So don't expect the same kind of setup. Is all I'm saying, because I know a lot of people get in. They go, "Why can't I do this? Can I get this coin on there? Can I do that?" None of that's going to happen, right? So this is designed multi-chain, and he's already sent that signals out, right? So he's already been clear about that. But people are going to go in and go, "Why can't I do this, do that?" But anyway, I'm just giving the warning from my point of view that is set up there. So let's see. We're excited about it. It's we need this sort of maturity on PulseChain. I think everyone can agree. It's fine having degen coins and pump and dumpers and and a few honeypots and other AI tricks up the sleeve, but we do need to mature the chain and have more and more blue chip cryptos, and Coinwell, hopefully, even though it's multi-chain, will benefit PulseChain as well. So that is exciting. All right, so that is coming up, and I'm particularly looking forward to Coinaki, is right, which is going to have the battle of the memes. I think that's going to be really exciting because it's going to lift all the memes. And let's say that we've got 40 memes, maybe 2 or 3 of them are going to be winners in terms of the big X's. Then you want it to you want to have a good place where people can rally and of course burn those tokens off as well. I think could be pretty neat there. So we'll keep a lookout for that. I don't know if they're going to launch at the same time, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so that is Rack and Michelle. It's going to lead us into PulseChain, and we're day 890, guys. 890 days since PulseChain launched. And we've got Pulse at the moment is green. I'm happy to report. So it's up 4%. It's managed to bounce off the support area. You guys remember I did a breakdown of PulseChain yesterday, was it? I think it was yesterday. At quadruple 027 was where I said we had to defend, and it looks like we did at this stage. And I'm feeling confident about it. And we're at 28.3. So let's see how we get on. We've had like 5 weeks of down weeks. So that should hopefully be the end of that down run. And we get some good support. We have still got a higher low. That's why 2,700 was so important, because it still gave us a higher low. If we went down to 2,200 on Pulse, I'm just taking the zeros out if you're wondering what I'm talking about, then we would be not have a higher low, right? But we're still holding on to that higher low at 2,700, and that's kind of good for the uptrend of the chart. And we all want that to be the baseline for the next push to a higher high, right? So we're up 4% right now, 28% of the main sacrifice price. We're at PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0193. So we're below 2,000, but we managed to rally there, up 4.4%. We've got the buy and burn sitting at 7.92% based on GoPulse's numbers. That is where we are. Excuse me. And we got incentive token at the moment, $12. That is down 0.6%. So the only one that's down slightly. Then we've got Hex on PulseChain up 4.8%, and that is the best performer today. And that's at 0.62 of a penny. EHEX at the moment still holding on to yesterday's price, 0.2 of a penny, no move there really. So one p hex right now will get you 3.05 e hex. That's what it's saying. I don't know if is that right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 3.05 e hex there. So that's day 890 on PulseChain. Combined price of e hex and p hex is sitting at 82 hundredth of a penny, almost 83 hundredth of a penny there. All right, let's go to the gas prices quickly. 518,000 beats, 0.5 cent for a PulseX swap right now, so super cheap on PulseChain. Validators, 53,404. So yay, we've gone up. That's kind of cool. We've gone up maybe, I don't know, was it about 12 or 14 or something like that? More validators, but that's a new level there. The bridge, let's have a look at that. We're at 99.5 almost, so we didn't quite get back over 100, but I think we're at 97, 98 yesterday, something like that. And so we're definitely climbed a little bit there, 99.5. And of course, EHEX there is not changed in price. So if EHEX had gone up even just a fraction, we'd have got over 100 million quite easily. But we're focused on the ETH and the DAI USD Tether and USD Tether bridging over, because that's what we want to help pump the chain there. We know that Coast, of course, has contributed pretty well with $11 million into PulseChain. Isn't that amazing? So a big shout out to the Coast team, and of course they launched a new product called Tide, which is a balance of V3 fork, and that has been very successful. Now the third biggest DEX, and we covered that yesterday, so that's huge there from Coast. Not only stablecoin but Tide balancer fork. So they're really building out the ecosystem. I'm presuming they're going to be working on something new next, because they're really building out some alpha projects. So that'd be really good. So congratulations to the Coast team. Yeah. All right, that brings us into the Treasury. Where's the Treasury at? With a little bit of a bounce on the old ETH. Well, it looks like we're at 625 million at the moment. This excludes, of course, the $25 million running around somewhere, Tornado Cash and all the rest. So yeah, that's pretty much around the break even. Something wrong with this calculations on here. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to reconcile it, but we're still sitting around 620. This is saying we're basically close to break even here. But the ETH price is actually above the DCA entry price. So I'm not sure whether it's something to do with volume recalculation, because obviously we saw that 4,400 ETH move, I think it was, through Tornado Cash. So yeah, that's just what it's showing at the moment. So anyway, that's there. Guess we can go and look at the new stat side as well. PulseChain stats, is it? PulseChain stats, and see if that has a different number. PulseChain stats.com, and of course the other new site that's come out. It's got lots of very cool information here. I'm not sure if it's bridge stats. We've got the bridge stats. Let's go to bridge stats actually, and we've got the daily inflow outflow. Yeah, I think we want to look at that. So apparently in the last 24 hours, this is a snapshot every day at UTC time, and this is midnight, I think. So we've got 454,000 come in, 1.25 million go out, so negative 800. So we've still got negative flows, but we're going to keep a lookout for this, because we want that to flip, right? We want a capital reversal and flip there. So that's what this is indicating at the moment. It doesn't mean that the last, whatever the time, is it UTC time just now? Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just flipped over now. I'm not sure. But that is where we are right now. They're saying, 90 million there, so they're excluding EHEX, no doubt. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see. Whereas the GoPulse one shows 99. So, we've been using the GoPulse one for years. So I'm not quite sure the differences there. So we might have to do some reconciliations again. reconcile if we can. It's not always possible, right? But they do disclose some of the breakdowns, and that's where we can sort of add those up and see if they matter. Sean says, I don't like the cold. Yeah, well, it's still going to be probably cold to you, maybe, but at least it's not cold for us, so to speak. So that's the place. All right, so let's jump over there. What else have we got? Something else I want to look at here, is it? I don't know. Let's look at PulseChain TVL stables. Is that what I was looking at? I can't remember what it's going to go look at now. They're the PulseChain SAC, right? PulseChain SAC price. I thought they had it on here, but I do have it on the other website, but I was just wondering whether they have it on here. I don't see it here particularly. ETH Treasuries, it must be ETH Treasuries. 161 value set. So this looks like correct, right? So ETH price. Now it's got current ETH price. It's 4,500. Well, that's not right either. So that's a little bit weird. A little bit. That's the average. That's the entry price. We agree with that. But the current ETH price is not 4,500. So yeah, this is the problem. Maybe they're just linking, sourcing their information from just the wrong place there. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. That is certainly not correct. So anyway, let's jump away and let's jump over to PulseChain volumes, and this is where we're going to get into the detail, guys. So at the moment, I'm not endorsing any particular coin, and of course, if I say something's a probable play, doesn't mean I'm giving you, financial advice or recommending it or whatever. Just take note of that. So I'm just saying it's a probable play, and that's as far as I like to go. Saying it could play, but sometimes it's other things happen, right? So there's always things that happen there. So we've got Chaos at the moment, been around for 19 hours at 540%. I'm not sure who launched this or that, but you can check it out. That's why I often don't go into these too much, because I don't want people to get over encouraged by it. But just take note of that. Cry fagging, of course, from Richard Hart has gone viral. It's performed pretty damn well too. It's still 143% the last 24 hours. Now, I'm not endorsing any of these coins, right? Because they could be here today and gone tomorrow. Right, it's having a run. But you don't want to be the top guy. Right? But that is done pretty well, isn't it? It's done pretty well on the old cry fagging there. But just take note. We got Peahen right now. Is been around for 4 days. That's also pretty similar, and that is up 39%. Let's have a quick look at that one. It's been around a similar time, and it had its sell off, right? 00032. It's now at 00055. So it's a nice little bounce back there. What's the size of these plays? So they're kind of retail plays, right? Just like many of the other pump tires that we get running up, or trending terms that Richard might say or somebody else. So 25K, 49K on liquidity for those at the moment. Time dividend. So we get into the blue chips here. So time dividend, of course, crushing it. They're up 17% right now. And so this is our first kind of blue chip. You can see it actually got sold off too. So it reached up to the top here. We saw that there. We kind of said, oh, well, it ran out of RSI to move, right? So the RSI got hot. See down there? That played out very well. So the RSI is your friend, right? Can help you tell whether you're buying tops or bottoms. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer than when it just sits there. It can stay up a little bit. So just got to be careful with that. And occasionally it might defy it for a little bit. We saw that with XGame for a period of time, but then eventually that came down too. And then it hyper rallied again. So it just had to cool off, and then it hyper rallied, right? That's what we saw there. We're at 49, and we came back all the way down here to 0.2 of a penny. We're now back at 23 here. So pretty good opportunity to get in on time right now. We have got potentially holding up higher lows, right? 1, 2, and possibly a third one here. We shall see. But this is performing very well, right? Now, obviously, PulseChain is down, and time token also dragged down by that because the value of PulseChain is down, right? So anything that's got like a wallet and a DEX, kind of a aggregator with inside a wallet, and a fee sharing like time dividend does, then it's likely to be dragged down by the value of the chain generally, right? But we do have some really good milestones being hit. So they're now at 98,945 downloads, guys. And this is up to the 15th, so it's only 4 days old. But they're heading towards 100,000. Isn't that fantastic? What a huge accomplishment. From was it KG and the team? Pretty amazing. So they're on the up and up there. So the next update should be 100K, which is fantastic. So doing pretty well there. And also the revenue, right? So the revenue is going pretty well. Got the 90-day set up here, but they've earned $173,000 over the last 90 days, up 68%, 69% on the previous 90 days, which is pretty amazing. And the swap volume, $23 million of swap volume going through the Internet Money Wallet. Isn't that pretty cool? So not bad, 77,300 swaps, and all those numbers are up on the previous 90 days. So that's pretty nice. Not bad there. The annual rate, projected annual rate's 8%. If bought at the start, if bought at the end, it's 9.3%. So it's pretty interesting. So obviously, the lower your price you can get timed token, lowest. So if you can get the price lower, obviously, then your yield's going to be way higher, right? If you're buying down the bottom here, may also be relatively true, halfway true, maybe where it is at the moment. And so pretty cool. Unclaimed dividends though. Look at this, $234,000. what the heck? Some people are just sleeping on their dividends on the old time dividend wallet. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. So not bad, not bad. All right, so you've got the breakdown of the tokens and everything out. You know what you can't. Not only is it a great wallet, that's got great disclosure. Fantastic disclosure there. So pretty awesome. Time token, you need time token to do that. So a big shout out to KG, running pretty well. That's what I consider a blue chip on PulseChain because it's a wallet, it's an aggregator, and it shares the profits just like Uniswap. Not like Uniswap, but if it was Uniswap, it would be huge, right? So that's pretty amazing, and of course it's just growing over time, which means you're going to get all that growth with it, right? And if PulseChain's at the bottom of where PulseChain is right now, and we rally on PulseChain, imagine how much that will make. And of course, the time token will get re-rated, right? So pretty awesome from them. And all those income, yeah. So up 70% today. Nice little rebound there. So time token there, definitely one of our blue chips. We don't have a lot of blue chips, if you ask me. Like if you press me on it, we don't have a lot of blue chips, but that's definitely one of them. Curve token at the moment up 15%, sitting at number 7. Pulse Guy sitting at number 8 is up 14%, been around for 2 months. We've got XGame here, which we're going to talk about too. So that is up 14% today at number 9. So we're getting some nice little gainers here. XGame, of course, is the next big game launching on PulseChain. It's a decentralized crypto casino, so it's a little different from just a normal game like we're talking about Gladiator games later. It's a little different from that. But yeah, pretty exciting. 29 degrees in Australia. Is that where you are right now? 20, yeah. So it's going to be, I don't know what it is now, but let me have a quickly look at the temperature. Do I have temperature? I don't know. Apparently in Wellington, which is not where I am, it's in the middle. It's Wellington is the capital of New Zealand, but it's a hellhole of secular hellhole. It's that is at 17 degrees right now. 17 degrees. It's basically, if you think about New Zealand and hell on earth, Wellington's basically the hell on earth city. I'm not going to be kind about it because it's got nothing good to say. We got Sean and Melly, and this is Peking to Moon. Peking to Moon. Nice one there, Sean. Yeah, good. Well, you're doing pretty well. All right, so that is, let's look at XGame. So in a nice little bounce of 3,000, and went just below that, but 3 cents, let's say 3 cents. And we're up at 3.2 cents here right now. So not bad. It's chart's looking still pretty good. So it looks like I sort of bottomed out there, 2.7 cents or so, and is back on the move there. So pretty cool. Now XGame is expected to launch before the end of this month. So I mean, it only gives it within a 10-day window, doesn't it? Pretty much 11-day window at tops. So yeah, up 13.635%. Now Firewhale was in a X space yesterday with Panos and Execute and others that run those X spaces, which are getting really popular. But they also had what's the guy? What's the guy? The 10X guy. What was his name? Do you guys remember the 10X guy? I had his name in my head before, but I've forgotten his name now. Does 10X sales guy. Yeah, hopefully he'll come back to me. But he was. We had a big celebrity in the X space. Not in the. He apparently watches PulseChain, but he's not overt. Just trying to remember his name now. This guy that does the X10 program, or to get rich, kind of rich program. What is that called? Oh, damn it. I had his name before. It's really annoying when you lose the name. Anyway, we're at 3.2 cents right now on the old X game, so we'll keep a lookout for that. And as you guys know, I played the game the other day, and it was pretty good. So we had a big live stream, got a really big crew watching, and it was a good game there on X game. So we might do that again before it goes live. Like, it's on public testnet now, but it's on a real chain, but it's a public test right now. All right, so that's XGame. Now, XGame, of course, ended up getting probably getting a lot of rotation from SolidX, right? So SolidX is still down the bottom here, I think. So SolidX right now is around about, let me go to the big pair. So this is the big pair here, and it's at $3.20 right now. So we saw a lot of rotation out of SolidX, right? Now, I knew there would be some rotation, but it was even way more dramatic than I expected. And so it got to $3.20 right now, right? $3.20. Now, staking is going to be coming out for SolidX, and we'll probably see a capital rotation back in to SolidX, right? That is a probable outcome. And so at the moment, it's $3.20. What is the bottom? Is it $3.20 now? Well, the RSI is very indicative that it is at 15.9. So it's very oversold, very oversold. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And let's have a look at the 4-week time frame. We're sort of humming along the bottom there. And I think the weekly time frame is still good there. So we could actually go down a bit further here based on the weekly. We're at 33, but I don't know. Just don't know. I think we're doing pretty well at $3.30. We get a bit of reversal on PulseChain, then we might very well get a reversal there. That's on US dollars. In terms of Pulse, though, we're having a little bit of a bounce back in the old ratio there, although it did get sold down a little bit there to 112. But I'd probably keep a Blues Clues to the recovery would be in the actual PulseX. The Pulse ratio there. So keep a lookout for that if you're wanting a bit of confirmation around the actual volume demand going in to the SolidX pairs. So yeah, that's kind of where we are right now on that. But oversold. So this could be very well the bottom, but don't know. It's all got potentially on the week a little bit more room to move if it wanted to, but it does feel like $3.20 or so is fairly good. Now the bounce back could be quite severe, right? Could be quite strong in the old bounce back on this too, on SolidX with the rotation back in once staking is announced. So we obviously need XGame to launch. Let's say that's within 10 days, and then SolidX there to get the love back, as it were. And so if you're holding it, you just need to hold on for the reversal, as we might call it. All right, so that's kind of my views on that. Not financial advice, of course, just to make that double clear. We got what else? We got number 11 is Most Wanted, up 13%. Teddy Bear from James Maria, up 13% there. PTGC the grades, which we're going to talk about in a minute, but I want to get to the other peers. Sitting at number 13, up 12%. UFO up 11%. Swarm up 10% there. And then Teddy Bear up 10% from James Maria as well. So we've got 17 coins on at the moment trending over 10% on the trending list. So let's have a look at some of the others that are doing pretty well. So we've got quite a few doing well, that are under 10%, but doing well. And that's Pump Tires up 9%. Hex Pump Tires up 9%. Love.io is up 9.5%. PCock is up 9% there. And we've got a little bit of news around PCock. So we'll go and talk about that. Let me pull up the X account. Normally I have these set up, but it's a bit lazy today. Lazy. We're going to scroll down and have a look at this. Where we going? Back down here. Back down. Oh, it looks like we got some new news out, have we? Or have I gone too far? Maybe we've gone too far here. Yeah. So 5 hours ago, we got this PCock buyback powered 100% of our collected fees is fully automated and randomized. So that is fully operational, right? So, and they're looking to take their buying value to 300%. So they've got some mechanisms that are coming up with that. We're applying the same strategy of Pulse using our own capital on a 1-to-1 basis to match every PCock buyback. So how about that? We're applying the same strategy of Pulse using our own capital on a 1-to-1 basis to match every PCock buyback. Our goal is to keep buying back and consistently reinforce the liquidity of the PCock PLS pair. And of course, we're going to talk about Gladiator games because they've paired up yesterday, equal LP virtually yesterday with the PCock. So they got a Rome token, which is the token for Gladiator games, matched with Pulse. But then yesterday, the founder set up a pair of almost equal value with PCock. So very smart move there. And so that's really been a real boon for Rome token. We're going to look at that in a minute or a bit later. So yeah, our goal is keep buying back and consistently. So kind of cool there. You can see it's automated now, so it's just continually buying from the looks of it, rather than a big sort of daily buy, or it seems to be buying pretty nicely there. And they got some evidence around that, so that's kind of cool. All right, so that is from them. And I think we had something else, maybe possibly up here. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that was kind of cool from PCock there, but they're always out there, promoting, which is pretty cool. So it looks like they've obviously had a great run, and they've just had a little bit of a profit taking there. We're down at 9/10 of a penny, so we'll keep looking for that. Now the top of the price there has been 1.4 cents, and this is entered because it's gone to 100% buybacks and automation from the bridge fees and swap fees, and it's still got the Pulse and the ETH pairs to really ratchet up then that's even more revenue going to be buying back PCock, as well as they've got a couple other tricks up their sleeves to get this 300%, and so forth. So, and more chains as well, more chains, more volume. So that's just a growth story, right? A growth story for PCock. And so this is now a meme fi, right? A meme with DeFi. So it now separates it from a lot of the rest of the memes that are on PulseChain. Let's say there's 40 or 50 sort of memes out there, maybe a top 30 kind of thing. But these guys have separated themselves out now because they're now a DeFi meme. So it's really, and if they are consistent with that, if they hold on to that, then that makes it a more of a blue chip meme, right? So still a high risk return, but definitely has changed the game there. And it's another just like Time Dividend and the Time Wallet or Internet Money Wallet. This is now really can be considered a blue chip on PulseChain, which is really good. We want more and more of these, right? We want more and more of them. XGame potentially will be, along with SolidX, be a blue chip, right? That's definitely got it there. I wouldn't say, we're not going to quite put it there yet. We have to see it launch, right? So just don't get run away too fast ahead there. Has potentiality if that can get a sustainable earnings and use and adoption and potentially a viral game. That would be pretty cool. We shall see it from that. The plans for Firewall to stay around for a long time, and of course, Cornwell is launching a whole DeFi suite, right, which is going to be targeted at institutions, potentially a NASDAQ listing as well. We'll have keep a lookout for that. Obviously, that's subject to Rack and Michelle, all that sort of stuff. So just take note. There are big caveats there, but very, very exciting opportunities. So we're getting more, blue chips added to the mix. All right, it's kind of cool. Right, so that's where we are right now on the old PCock. Let's jump away to some of the others. We've got Zero Trust, obviously getting a little bit of love from PCock as well, up 9%. PC the Greys, which I want to talk about, right? So I want to talk about this. It is on the list. We've talked about PCock, we're going to talk about that again, but talk about XGame, and we're going to get the PCock, PTC the Greys here. Sitting around number 27 to number 30 is trading at around about 8.5% up today. And let's go to the Pulse pair here, which is at number 30, up 7.6%. The price at the moment for PTC the Greys is bouncing off the bottom here at 000601670, which I think is our, look at this. I didn't even plan this, guys, but it's on our horizontal line there. So there we go. That is where we said it needed to defend this price level, and it looks like it's doing it. So it's already gone down there, gone back up, gone down there at the moment. The downward support is at 0001200, and we had to hold on to 0001700. And the RSI has been bouncing on this oversold territory with the RSI. Looking at the week, it could still go down on the weekly. It's only at 39, so it's not quite out of the woods yet and hasn't printed. It's had 2 weeks at this level. Needs to close this week as well, and then start getting a green candle. So still got a little bit more evidence in front of us to get to, but certainly on the daily, it's looking optimistic. And if we can get PulseChain to the upside, then that would help potentially push it up to the upside as well. But it does have competition from the likes of Vouch and even PCock, I would say, and probably a few others out there. But it is, I could still consider it a blue chip, and we will see how it goes moving forward here with that. So let us know your thoughts on some of these ones in the chat there as well. So as a PTC could be a great opportunity at this price level. Once again, might need just a little bit more evidence of that turnaround. That's probably the case. In fact, I probably got out of there a little bit early, so let me just quickly make one more comment about that. I mean, we probably wanted to get back over. I think we probably want to get it back over 2300 to get a bit of confirmation there, just an early confirmation, so that we can start moving higher there. That's kind of the last comment on that. What else we got going? We got liquid loans down here right now, 7%. Now, obviously, all the liquidity forks, generally speaking, are going to be underpriced because PulseChain's so down, right? So PulseChain's so down. And so these counterwise, right, if we get a run on PulseChain, then we could see a sudden, and typically that's when it happens, a sudden re-rate on these liquidity forks like liquid loans. And that would also mean codes too, right? Arguably around the stable coins, but probably liquid loans, because people would expect a pickup of collateralization with Pulse It also helps get rid of more Pulse too, right? So it's kind of a double win on the way back up. And obviously they've got some technical issue around the liquid lines. I can't remember what it was. That's a problem. I might have to go review that. So anyway, so we've got Detropa now, number 32, Moomex at number 33, up 7%. Pump Tires Diets up 7% as well. Liberty up 6%. Staked ETH Fork is up 6.5%. Number 37. So we've got nice little green splatter across the top 100. Reserve Tay up 6%. PulseX Course Pepe number 40 is up 5.6%. Not bad there. We've got Finvestor at number 42 and Oink on the move. So they're up over 5%. ALGO up 5%. So all these guys are up against Pulse, right? Because Pulse was only up, what do we say, about 4%, 4.5%. So anything over, say, 4.5% is slightly ahead of doing better than Pulse. ALGO, Hex Derivative up 5% there. What else is going on here? So we got PulseX in here, Hex in here right now. So they're up about 4 or 5%. So anything that was better than these, essentially, so maybe 45 coins, essentially performing better than Pulse at the moment. Then we get below that, we've got Shadow up 4%. Source Minimal, which has got the corporate buying, right, and burning. This is being managed, right? So this is completely managed. They could pump this to $1, to a couple of dollars, heaps of money. They could just really pump this to the moon if they want to, but they're not going to do that because they might zigzag it up, but they're going to move to Solana, I think is what last I heard. So keep a lookout for that. But up 4% right now. UFO is up 4%. Ape and Pulse is up 3% there, number 60 there, so not bad. We talked about Solid X down here at $3.20, $20.25. We can see big re-rates in that, and of course, Firewall has said, don't fade the old Solid X because obviously when they have their staking coming up, you're going to have bronze all the way through to Firewall status. I think the minimum one for bronze staking is $2,500 worth of Solid X. So if you do manage to get the bottom or close to the bottom of Solid X and it gets a big run on it, you're going to potentially move up those staking levels, right, and therefore get more rewards based on, I guess, the success of the decentralized casino, XGame, stuff like that. So it is a speculative high risk, high return, but could be a big success there. We'll see. We're going to see. Find out. All right. That gets us down to 9 minutes down here, a BBC down here at 64.65. We're going to get to Vouch, which is at number 66. Now, this is up 2.5%. And as we said, this is the biggest validator on PulseChain now. So we're going to go have a look at I think they've may have a new disclosure. I saw something out today. So I'm going to talk about that as in the title of the video. So we're going to have a look at that. But I'm pretty sure I saw something out here. Vouch is the number one validator on PulseChain. We validate around 10% of all of the blocks on the network. So it is a juggernaut. It's a powerhouse here on the old PulseChain. And that is pretty awesome, right? Blocks rewards are distributed within the Vouch system. If you had PLS, consider staking and earning yield, currently 11%. So if you don't like too much risk, then it's you can be your own validator, of course, but you can get in here. And also they have reflections, right? So 5% reflections. So you're earning all the extra there. It's quite a powerhouse. And it's if let's look at it this way. If Tom Lee's got a 5% holding of Ethereum, and that's a sovereign put, then if this is 10% of the validator, is this kind of like a sovereign put as well? This is a sovereign put. So it's different, of course. Differences doesn't have MNAV and things like that, but and all the rest of the stuff that Tom Lee has, but it's still pretty powerful. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so that is from Vouch. I'm not sure what else they've had out recently. Even in the market turmoil, validators keep on validating. That's true, right? So this is why it's blue chip, right? Because it's got this earnings. It's got this earnings coming in, and it's got double dual earnings. So just like PCock's got all those bridges and swap fees coming in, buying up PCock, and that's kind of their token. Well, Vouch has got all this validator revenue just coming in, and it just make new validators and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's a real growth story, right? And this is the truth. So this is why I'm calling these blue chips, right? Because they've got actual buying, utility buying, and growth story to combine. And you're buying near the bottom of the PulseChain, right? That's what we think is the bottom of PulseChain. So that's pretty awesome. So looking good, and we want this on PulseChain, right? We're gonna, if we want a better chain over time, we need this sort of mechanisms to run up, especially when we had the Achilles heel, right? What's the Achilles heel of PulseChain? Well, it is the sacrifice set, right? So it is. So you had the PulseChain sack and the PulseX sack, and we've seen sellers go out over the last 890 days, right? Because of all the Black Swan and Grey Swan events and the relativities, rotations into the majors, crypto like ETH and Bitcoin, etc. And so you've had all that over 809 days. And of course, getting weekends is one of great strategies of someone we know. So that's kind of the play. But when we get utilities, they're actually driving value into the chain. So that's good news. And if we get less Grey Swan and Black Swan events and more utility driving value over time, that's certainly going to help the chain mature and create more value for everybody else that goes in. And it's a safe place to be, right, in the Pulse chain. We are live now. Come and join. They had a good little chat there as well. So pretty cool. All right, so that is the old Vouch, and they're doing a great job. That's really, really exciting to see that. That's fantastic. So I think they've got like 4,600 validators or something like that right now. So doing pretty well there at number 60, and it's a nice little entry probably for the old chain. Let's have a quick look at the price. So yeah, just humming along there at 4,200. Now I was being asked to talk about it when it was up at the top here, and I just felt like that was the top, and I managed to choose the top there. You don't always get to do that, but on this occasion I did. 14.0, and if I talked about it down here, it would have been fine. And I've done that many times, right? You guys know because I stream all the time. But once that was got up here, and I was just being asked to stream about it, I was like, I don't know about that. Don't want people to buy the top on this. And so here we are. We've got a nice consolidation range now. So now I think it's a reasonable place to think about if you're considering it. Not financial advice, of course, but now it's kind of got a sort of a floor in here, at least a average zone there as well. So that's kind of cool for Vouch. Is it fair value at 4 million? Probably is. You can do some all sorts of maths on the validator's value and the income values of the reflection token. Remember, it has a 5% tax, buy and sell tax in addition to the validator revenue. So it's an interesting model to check out. You have to do your due diligence first. All right. So that's pretty cool. We got UFO at number 68, up 2%. We've got all the Richard Hart cores down here. We've got Sparta in the mix here, up 1% there as well. So it gets us to number 80 coin, which is Fitzgerald's company. How's that looking? And of course, you guys know I avoided talking about this because of the flaw in the process. Oh my God, it's sad. Anyway, so it's had an incredible run. We won't doubt that. We don't doubt the run. The run was incredible. I mean, look at that. So if you were in here, you were making mad gains all the way up. But of course, apparently there are 4 holders, and all it took is 1 holder to sell. And I had seen this before. And it doesn't, maybe 3 out of 4 of the people's characters are really amazing. They do what they say. But this takes one guy. One guy, right? One guy. Anyway, so this is all got sold down right now, and we're down at quarter of a penny. So it's still up amazingly from the bottom. So if you've got anywhere down here somewhere, then yeah, sure, you're up mad gains, right? 3,800, so 4,000% there. So what's that, a 40x or something? You're up mad gains, but just take note, it is what it is. But if you got it in up here, then you'll be fuming, right? You'll be fuming. Damn it, why did I do that kind of thing? So yeah, we had a bit of a consolidation zone here, breakdown as well. So yeah, let's see where that goes. And I haven't got an RS on here. Let's put an RS on. Now I think last time I checked, there were still the 3 main holders, so we could go check. Let's go check there as well. I don't know too much else to drama about it. I just avoided it because of the the nature of 4 guys holding all the coins just seemed a bit. I'd seen it before, and I saw one person sell, and then the whole thing went down, and that's all that mattered. I only needed 1 guy. So it looks like we've still got the 3 guys at the top. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure there was a 4th guy, and that 4th guy is sold. So you can, if I'm wrong about that, you can let me know. But that does appear to be what was the case. I'm getting a little bit of foggy with it now, but that is what I think happened to that. And we saw this volume happen here, right? So looks like it's when it happened in the chart there. But if you made mad gains out of that, congratulations. What else? Let's scroll down here. We're up to number 80, weren't we? So we got down here, we got Fitch as well, at number 83. It's pretty much flat. And we are waiting for the Signum Oracle, which is going to have all the bells and whistles on it. It's what we need for PUSD ALGO, although PUSD ALGO, as I understand, is working on some stuff in the background, so we'll see what happens there. And but yeah, Tetra is coming as well. So Tetra, we're going to have Tetra launching. This is innovative, like the frontier of innovation for democratizing smart contract interaction for everybody to use. So Tetra is going to be a real game changer on PulseChain at the frontier of DeFi, and so that's going to be pretty exciting, right? So we're looking forward to that. And so, even though Fetch at the moment is sitting at 1/10 of a penny, I don't know who uses the Fetch Oracle. It's a fork of Teller, and it's sitting here, but it does apparently missing some of the features that needed for PUSD ALGO to launch. And so apparently Signum, which is expected to launch after Tetra. So Tetra's website's going live at the end of October, and when we get a launch date for Tetra, then they said a couple of days after Tetra Signal launch, but let's say it's 2 weeks, 2 weeks after that. So fingers crossed that if we do get a Tetra launch in November, then we have Signum launching by December. We have the Tetra launching by Signum launching by December. Then fingers crossed we get PUSD ALGO launching with an ETH rally in Q1 next year. That's kind of the time frame that I got in my head. So if you're wondering about that, I prefer it January, but just Q1. Let's say Q1. We shall see. PUSD ALGO will be. We need a decentralized stablecoin on PulseChain to help us with the scalability issue of stablecoins. So that could be a powerhouse, and of course, it's going to potentially have a V3 DEX. Now we saw a little Blues Clues about aligning with the Genius Act as well. So I'm not sure what the angle is there, but it could be pretty cool. Hopefully it's multi-chain as well, PulseChain, ETH chain, something like that. So it might be the connection there. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do that, but the team's based in Europe, so it's not like they're based in America, so it's a little bit different. So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep a lookout for that. But that really is, I think Cult DeFi agrees with me that that's the flagship for Jacob. Now he's also working on the Mafia game, which is getting closer. Presumably that's going to be fully launched by the end of the year. And then also On-Chain Bet was supposed to launch. We expected it to launch in October, November, but it's not launched yet either. Now, you don't really want to launch in the sentiment at the moment, so I can understand project teams deferring. We're seeing project teams deferring. They're telling us they're deferring, and they want the sentiment to change and the PulseChain to start getting off the bottom and into a bit of a rally. So we'll talk about that. But that is where Fetch Oracle is right now on the old launches there. Now there are a lot of other teams working on projects and launches. I know Fast Abdul's working on with many teams on stuff, and of course he's the ink printer liquidity fork founder guy. And so yeah, we are looking forward to more projects that are going to be launching on PulseChain. So that's kind of it. Getting into that, so we got Sparta down here at number 90 out of the money, 1.7%. We got Top Hat as well, which was doing pretty well on the back of PCock. Must have had a decent holder sell. And we got Zendog as well, which was also performing well. They were both down 3%. A little bit of profit taking there on those. And then we got some OG web chefs down here. Gas Money, world's greatest PDI printer. We got 9mm, which is probably underpriced. Let's go have a look at our 9mm. It's our second biggest DEX ahead of Tide. And it had a big sell. Look at that. Look at a big sell. $56K, $60K. So it looks like a big holder there decided to sell out. So I'm not sure who that is. But if you do know, let us know. But yeah, they had a big sell event. Look at that. Wow. So it could be it was a pretty good price. Man, look at that. 2700th of a penny, and it's now 5500th of a penny, over half cent. So that would have been a really good price snapping that up. That's happened today. Look at that. In fact, only happened 5 hours ago. I didn't even see that. This was picked up there. So that's interesting. So 9mm, our second biggest DEX. Now, this would probably all get re-rated too, right? When we get PulseChain on a rally or PulseChain season, we should see time dividend, because it's got the DEX aggregator. We should see Batias re-rate, right? The big DEX aggregator on PulseChain. We should see the liquidity forks or re-rate. We should see the DEXs re-rate, right? These are sort of all the utilities on PulseChain. We should see them all re-rate in value, right? So this at the moment they're all being probably priced down or not even looked at. People looking at some of the latest stuff like PCock and XGame and the latest meme coin like cryfagging, cryfagging up here. All right, so little retail plays. They're not all created equal, right? So what are the big juggernauts on PulseChain? Well, we've got market caps. We're going to ignore remember from OG WebChef. But we got Hex, of course, at the top there. 3.7 billion with all the OA supplies. We got which we're actually not so much now. I don't know where they're getting that number from, but obviously we've got mostly staking now, right? We've got about 667 billion or somewhere in that ballpark, and we're only got about 37 to 40. I think it's 44 billion, is it? 44 billion, I think, hex in the market. PulseX is up here, of course, 2.8 billion. We don't have Rat Pulse on here or Pulse, but saw some Minimir sitting at 320 million right now. That's, of course, the big food corporate in Europe. We've got SolidX, of course, really up besides Sword Sun Minimir as the next big one. And, of course, at the moment, the price has come down dramatically. So that previously would have been about 180 million. And now it's 67 million, plus Pulse has come down in price. So that's the other interesting thing, right? Actually, I was just going to quick look at SolidX on I don't know if I did this before, but on the PulseX ratio. I did do that, actually. I did look at that. I thought I hadn't done that. But I always look at the pulse ratio there. Incentive token is next in terms of market cap as well. And then you got PTC de Grey. So these are the big juggernauts. And of course, we do consider PTC de Grey's a blue chip, and SolidX potentially could be in that camp, right? Certainly is by liquidity. So if you think about liquidity, it certainly is. But by the business model behind it, that's kind of what I'm talking about with growth. Liquidity is important, obviously, but really has got a growth story, has got an income and growth story behind it. That's kind of the play. Now, this is more of an investor class, right? So it's different again, and that's why Liberty Swap and others will get a lot of love, right? Because they've got that growth story, that business story behind them. And then we get down into some of the other more exotic, like meme coins and things like that. So we don't have too many. That's what I said. We don't really, if you think about it, don't have a lot of blue chip type of investor class stuff on PulseChain. But I think by the time we get to December, we could probably, outside the Richard Hart core coins, we could probably say we have half a dozen. I think by the end of the year, we could have half a dozen blue chips on PulseChain that are, maybe not by Wall Street standard, but by just a business growth story standard, could be, and with liquidity, could be an investor class type of things that we have on PulseChain. So that'd be pretty exciting. So that's the real maturity story there by the end of the year. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's now you can break that further down to more technical stuff, but that is kind of the play. Now, looking at the liquidity at the moment, you can see we've got different numbers here as well: PulseX, ALGO, Inc., SolidX. So depending on what measure you're looking at, obviously Richard Hart core coins. And all the derivatives that are on the back, like ALGO's on the back of Hex, right? Sparta's on the back of Hex. Doubt's kind of just a meme coin, but that is kind of the play right now. SolidX liquidity, of course, was hugely dominant. It's still significant, of course, 2.3 mil, 2.2 mil on the Inc. and the PulseX sides. And we've all got Pulse down here at 580K. And there was a bit of a tussle between SolidX and PTC. But I think, SolidX has probably got the better story at the moment, for sure. All right, so that is kind of it on that. Did I talk about everything? I talked about XGame, talk about Vouch, talk about PTC, talk about PCock. Now we want to talk about Rome, right? So we're going to do that. And let's talk about Rome token. So, I don't know, let's bring up the Rome. Rome had a bit of a rally overnight, if I remember rightly. So we're going to look at that. Up 52%, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So Rome is up 52% right now, guys. And that's pretty cool. So really nice there on the, I guess, on the bullish news around the game doing well, and also probably more to the point, like PCock there as well, paired up with PCock now, which is pretty awesome. So I think we can actually see that. Let's go to the Rome token there. So a nice little bounce back and a nice consolidation period. Look at that. This is on the daily, by the way. And then we got the big run up there. All right, kind of cool. So let's have a look at the new liquidity with PCock. And I think hopefully it will show up. Yeah. So we now got $19,000 of LP in the Rome Pulse, with the price gone up 52% overnight. Now this was what was it yesterday? 15 yesterday. It was 15 that I looked at it. And then we've now got the new pair, right? Rome PCock pair. It's got 17K. And so I think this was 15, this was 14, and now this is now 17 and 19. So, a nice little price pump, it helps along the way too. But that's really, really exciting. So looking cool. It's also got a Rome Hex pair, $1,300. So, it's still small by, the counts of SolidX or something. But that's a nice little jump there. for essentially PulseChain's fully operational top tier game right now on PulseChain, and this thing is rapidly innovating as well. So it could have a bright future. Now, lots of obviously has lots of. This is brand new. It's only like 6 weeks in long, so it's already had a big event back here on the 20th, but it's now having a pretty positive event here on the 18th. So we'll keep a lookout for that. But that's pretty cool. And of course, Tournament 6 is on right now, so we're going to pull that up actually. Let me pull up Tournament 6. I'm going to have to reset things up a little bit. But the Tournament 6 is on. We're going to have a look at how this is going. There will be 3D animations coming. That's the vision. But that's being worked on, and I wouldn't expect it to be too quick. You've got to do a lot of work behind that. But 3D will be is on the cards there. But once again, that's a bit of time to be had before that goes live. But it is being looked at right now. Animators are being sought and all that good stuff. But we're going to go back to the screen here, and then I'm going to pull it up. So give me a minute to do that. Right, we go full screen with it, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. And I've got to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh, damn it. Then we'll go there. And we're going to pull it sound. We want the sound. Yeah, we'll just do the sound. And bam, let's go. That was quick. I'm getting pretty fast at it now. How about that? Oh, I'm in the wrong screen. Okay, that was lame. All right, so congratulations. You did it. All right, so here we are, and if you want to join, of course, I'll give you the link to join up, both here on YouTube and on X in a minute. But this is the Gladiator tournament, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. So very, very cool. The last tournament, this is tournament number 5, or at least the midweek tournament. It was Brad. So whatever the last tournament is, Brad, he's been the tournament champ every week. That's Envious Crypto, of course. He's amazing. Rudolph and Sandras are amazing players, and looks like they've getting better and better and better, and they may take the lead this time. Now we do have 15 players in the main tournament, and we have 10 players in the secondary tournament that's on. The first one's Generation 2 main, so these are all using Generation 2 Gladiators. So the reason why we use generations is because we have breeding every 3 weeks, I think it is. And so you breed the next level of Gladiator, and they just get better and better, right? In terms of their powers, their abilities. So we've got Generation 2 on both of them. So if you see Generation 2, you're going to need a Generation 2 Gladiator or Generation 3 or Generation 1 Gladiator to participate. So that's the first thing you should look at. But to register is pretty easy. You just pick up one of your Gladiators. You register. The main event is 1 million golds, which is 1 million pulse. The secondary event is also is 100,000 gold, so it's 100,000 pulse. So they're different tournaments. This tournament, the main one, you need you can customize your gladiators, whereas the secondary one is not customized. So basically, anyone can go in and have a good go at each other on equal footing there. But this one here is based on all your upgrades to your character, to your weapons, etc. like that. So that's kind of the difference there. But there is one person in the queue right now. I don't know if that is. Should we see if I have fought them? Now, if I fought them 3 times, I won't be able to fight them, right? So just take note of that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, if you like gaming, you like crypto, this is really the top tier game on PulseChain at the moment, and there's over $1,200 in prizes this in the tournament this weekend. So especially with PulseChain down and all that, it's a fun place to be playing games, but also your chance to win a bit of crypto as well, which is pretty nice. And you saw the pump in the Rome token, they're up 50%. So your prizes, I guess you're going to get whatever the price of, you're getting paid out in Rome token, and you get some silver as well, which is in-game tokens. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I can fight this person. I don't know. I may have fought this person already 3 times. Let's see. Looks like I've fought this person because I'm trying to jump in there, and no, they've already fought them. So it's not letting me fight them. So if you do have that, sometimes yesterday we were fighting and there were like 5 people in the queue, but I'd fought them all. And then someone came in and I ended up having a fight. So that was kind of cool. So their maximum is 3 times because you don't want to defeat someone over and over again. You don't want to lose to someone over and over again, and you want to spread around the love there. Now there are 15 people in the tournament, so let's have a look at the actual the view. Now it does, every time you fight somebody, you do wager 25,000 gold. That's in addition to anything around the prices. So it's just a separate thing. And people keep the winnings. So if I lose to somebody, they're going to keep my 25,000 gold. If I win, I'm going to take their 25,000. That's basically it. So if I win more than I lose, then I'm going to make a profit just by playing the game. And then I might, if I get a good position at the end of the game or the tournament, I'm going to earn a prize, right? So let's see where I am. You can see the top prize is $130 for number cash prize. Number 10 spot is $70. But then the top 15 places after that get legendary gear. So even if you're like number 15, you're going to get legendary gear, right? Which is worth a bit of money. So it's kind of cool. Let's go into the standings. Have a look at the tournament right now. So we can see Crassus at the top there, 15. We can see Rudolph there, a second, 14, and we got Ledio there at 13. Now, the tournament champion over the last 4 weeks or so has been Brad, and he's not winning in this time. He's down there at number 4, so it's the first time he's not winning the tournament, which just goes to show that people have been upgrading themselves and getting better at playing, etc. And a bit more pressure on Brad there. He's not, no doubt, he's going to try and have more fights because the tournament's still got a little bit of time to go. Galactus, that's me, and I'm not number 6. Yay! And you guys know I've had a bit of a journey on this game, right? So the first week, what did I do? First week, I won a legendary weapon. The second week, I won $10, I think it was. The third week, which was last week that I fought, because I didn't fight the first week, I don't think. The last week, I got... in fact, the first 2 weekends, maybe I didn't even fight. I'm not sure. Maybe the first week I got nothing. I don't know. But last week I got $50. So I've had a journey. I've gone a legendary weapon, $10, then $50, and now I'm sitting at number 6 right now. I've got to hold on to it, of course. But I'm at number 6, and number 6 is $90. So I'm going from $50 to $9 from last week. So you can go up the ranks. And how have I done that? Well, I just learned more about the game, right? Just learned more of the game, asked more questions, and played it more and stuff like that. So that's kind of how you do that, right? Now, that's pretty cool. So I believe next weekend we're going to go up to Generation 3 Gladiators, I think it is next week, which means people will be breeding this week as well. So it's got this breeding factor as well. And breeding, you got the Gladiators and then breeding. And then you can do that. You can breed. Now, I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't yet. I don't know if I can. I'm not quite there yet myself. So I'm not, we'll keep you updated about the breeding and the generations. But there were a few Generation 3 Gladiators on the market. So I saw that. So let's see. We've got the buys there. They're not there anymore. They've all been bought. Maybe they've all been bought. Let's have a look. I'm not sure. Maybe my computer's just frozen there. Let's refresh. Generation 2, Generation 3. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. But it looks like... I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's a server issue there. But let's go to the tournament again. And there is 1 day and 4 hours to go in the tournament. So there's plenty of time to go to get into the tournament right now for Gladiator games. Costs 1,000 gold right now. Now, the fast way of getting into this is going to the economy and going to the store and then go to buy a starter pack. So you can go to a starter pack, and I would suggest you either buy a Primus or a Rudicarius there, and your chance to get into the tournament right now. You can even go in with these lower ones here, like a Tiro, and fight with common gear because you'll still win some legendary gear right now, right? Because 15 players, even if you got the worst position, you'd still be winning some legendary gear there. So, but different options going on right now. If you want to try and get some of the prizes, you probably need one of these Premius or a Rudius, and you need to play the game. So it's going to play there. You get 2 Gladiators as well that you can choose from. You just have to go through the steps there, so it's kind of cool. I got gold and silver. Okay, yeah, you can pay with silver and you can pay with gold now. So there we go. You got to choose what you're going to pay with. Most people will be paying with gold, I think. So yeah. Right, so that's pretty easy. So you just get a DGM wallet, put some pulse in it, buy some gold. Just click the buy gold, and then come up to store, and you got to click that off. Come up to store, go to starter pack, and buy yourself one of these gladiators here. And you get 2 of them. So I would definitely do a male and female because then you can breed them, right? So and then put the names on them in the white boxes there and click buy starter pack. Once you do that, go to Gladiators and click on your character. And I've got Gladiator 3 there. Oh, that was a secret. Okay, Gladiator 2. You guys saw my secret. I got a secret there. I had a Gladiator 3. But there we go, Gladiator 2, and you can equip them here. You equip them here as well. My enemies know now I have a Gladiator 3. But yeah, you can double click on one of these helmets, and it puts all the stuff in. So if I got this food, I had to put food in there. I just double click, and then the food's in there. Look at that. Bam, look at that. Double click it out, and you got 12 slots you have to kit out, from headgear to armor, and it's kind of cool. And then you are ready to go. Once you've done that, you're ready to go to get in there. Now that's a quick guide. Yeah, and you want to upgrading all your and that helps you as well. And you can also upgrade these with Rome tokens as well. So what you want to do is you want to have a good breed. You want to have upgrade all your qualities, your strength and your stamina. You want to have max them out and do all that. You want to get the best weapons you can, like epic and legendary weapons, and that will get you well equipped. And you want to equip your gladiator with that. You also need to equip your gladiator with food and bandages, so that when you're in the battle, you can heal yourself. And you also need a weapon, 2 weapons, a shield and a weapon, or 2 swords, or whatever your gladiator is. And this one, he's got 2 swords, and you need that. So that's kind of the play there. And then you're ready to go in the tournament, right? You're ready to go in the tournament and fight, fight there. So yeah, pretty cool. This is the other one that's on right now. I'm in both tournaments right now, but I don't think there's anyone there. No one's in the queue right now, so I just have to wait for people to join, and hopefully get someone in there. So you can see it's got 1 now because I'm in there, and that's how it rolls. So we're looking forward to that. Now this is the tournament for the cash prizes, but there's also battling, right? So you can go battle, and there's now a profit arena, so you can go fight for gold against the AI, and it's just a random difficulty to win. So yeah, it's you can do that. I think you can do 1,000 gold is the max bet there. So there we go. You can also do free training here just by fighting the AI in the training grounds. And soon coming up is the Tower of Power, and that's going to come up too. So there is lots of other games that you can play at any time on here. You can also play versus a real player too. So you can find fights here and play for gold, all sorts of stuff, and you can use any generation. So there's lots of features, lots of gaming on here. There's also a big resource economy and adventure economy, like quests. You get free resources like assets. You can buy mines and all sorts of stuff like that. So you can see I've got my iron there, and I've even got tier 3, which I'm getting ready for next week, right? So it's kind of play. We've got crafting. You can craft your own weapons. You can go to weapons and craft some swords and spears and things like that. So there's lots to this game, guys. Really is. So if you love gaming, you love crypto, you want to earn some stuff, you can do that. There's a market, of course, buy and sell. Not sure what the market doesn't seem to be online right now, but you can definitely do that. Pretty cool. But the tournament's on for another day, and I will be there, guys. I'm going to be there, so I'm going to be fighting throughout the day today, and probably into the beginning of tomorrow. We've got an hour and 1 day and 4 hours to go, so I will be fighting because I want to see if I can get a couple of spots higher even. So at the moment I'm on what I say? I'm on number 6. I'm on $9. Let's see if I can get the 5th spot there, or a 4th spot. I don't know. It's going to be tough. Who's above me right now? I'm Void. Yes, I could get to number 5 quite reasonable. Now getting up against Brad. Brad's a tournament champ. I don't know about that. But maybe I can get to number 5 here. I get number 5. So let's see if I can do that. That would be pretty cool. You never know. I might beat Brad. I bet Brad twice now. In fact, I changed my strategy, and there is fighting strategies in the game too. It's not just about strength and that. If you can, to some degree, if you get your strategies in play, and I changed my strategy completely, and that's been very effective. It's helped me win a couple of fights already, which is pretty cool. So that's Gladiator Games, guys. I think that's enough for the time being. Let me just give you a link. There are referrals, so you can get your referrals out there. So if you do play, you want to share it around, get referrals, you get 5% of the gold that people use in the game. So that's kind of cool. So I'll post the link to that if you want to join up today. So join Gladiator Games. You can join this tournament because it's still got a day and 4 hours to go. And you can get plenty of fights because you haven't had any fights yet. So that's pretty easy to do. So that is the Gladiator Games there. And we're probably going to have some big events coming up for Gladiator Games moving forward as the top tier game on PulseChain. So keep a lookout for that. We're going to look for some big events coming up, so it could be pretty fun. I'll keep it tuned on all that. But there's Gladiator Games there, right there. And what's the other one? I was going to show it on X, right? I haven't put it on X, but let me put it on X, and I'll put it underneath the game. All the prices continue to go up on Gladiator Games too. That's pretty neat. All right, let's have a look at this. So we're going to scroll up here a bit. And let's go here. So if you're on X right now, join Gladiator Games. And if you're not a gamer, it's not going to be something you're keen on. Just remember that. But if you are a gamer and you want to earn crypto, it's a great place to be, right? So just remember that. If you're not a gamer, not going to be something that you're in for, but if you are, it's a great, and it's only getting from strength to strength here as well on the old PulseChain. All right, so we could have Gladiator games, then we could have X games, and then on-chain bet. So we're going to have quite the gaming what do you call it? Gaming segment on PulseChain, gaming sector, game, whatever you want to call it, is really starting to take off, and that's great. It's great, and then we're getting a lot more blue chip stuff happening. So things are going pretty good for the old PulseChain, aren't they? So things are starting to pick up, and the price is real friendly. Everyone's going to gloat on getting the friendly price. Actually, before I finish, I do actually want to talk about the PulseChain chart. Shall we do that? I know I'm going on. It's like an hour and 20 now. It's way past the time that I was going to do. But let's quickly talk about the PulseChain price, because I did want to talk about that briefly. So let's do that. Let's do that. All right. Let's go full screen on it, I guess. Get rid of the overlays. Now I do have to separate the charts a little bit. So let me split this over. Go here and add back in the new one. And I'm going to hopefully transition properly this time. Did that work? It did work, guys. Awesome. All right, so this is the PulseChain chart right now. Let's get rid of the overlays. And so that's just the pure raw chart with the RSI. So you can sort of see where we are. 890 days, can you believe it? 890 days of PulseChain. And that is the chart all up. Look at that. You can see that clearly. I think you can. So it's kind of cool. Let's push that over a little bit there. A bit more. There we go. That's the chart there. So you can see the beginnings, and that's where we are right now. If we add the overlays, at the moment you can see we're down near the almost the oversold level. But let's put the overlays on. This purple box is the SEC, right, which was over us. And you can understand SEC put a dark cloud over PulseChain, and we had big capital flight at the beginning. Even though we had a couple of pumps, arguably from Richard Hart there, it still didn't manage to offset the downside. And we've also had the sacrifice set, right, which we've had to, we've seen a few go out of that list. And it was only 2 weeks ago, was it? Or a week and a half ago, we saw wallet number 18 on the PulseChain SAC and number 59 on the PulseX SAC end up exiting. And we all had that, felt that. And that was in the week before when we had the big red candles, basically. And I think it was this one here in that week there. And here we are. We're free, but we got free of the downward trend, so that that big blue line was keeping us down, so to speak, and we broke through it, which was pretty cool. So that was good news. And now we've come all the way down, but we actually broke down through our local support, right? So we had this nice little support here as well, and we broke down through that, and then we were looking at horizontal support, right? Because we've lost our angular support or momentum, and now we were looking for the horizontal to see where we could find some natural zones, and we seem to have found one at that 2700 essentially. And so we did have a little bit of support there previously, a little bit of resistance there previously, right? So we had that kind of now, and now we have sort of defended that. Question is that the end? Is that the end? Because the next level down was down at 2200, which is down here, right? At the moment, we're still holding these higher lows, even though it's lost the angular momentum. We're still holding these higher lows, right? So if we were to draw another line, we're still, we would we'd be, sort of this line now, right? So I don't know if that's the right color, but we're kind of holding this line now. So if we can hold that, that'd be pretty cool. We're obviously broken this triangle down, and I guess we could also, make a new triangle top down here, right? So if you think about it, we could also go, from here and then sort of say that now we've got this new triangle, right, that we're kind of going towards. I don't know how far we have to go there, but, get my idea that we're, got to head towards that. Let's see here. Let's see, we can try and get this lined up. So we've kind of got that going on. And let's get rid of these arrows. And so, yeah, that could be where we are. Let me just get rid of this other one. I like things to be nice. We'll get that. All right, so that's kind of, we could be in this bigger triangle now, right? So that's basically the idea. And now we have to break out of this, right? We have to break out of this to the upside. So that's kind of the zone. and we're kind of stuck in there. But let's see, we got to the end of the year. Is if we take this a lot long here, so that is the end of the year. So if we can break out of that by the end of the year, then that's kind of our hope, right? We do have this upward channel though, right? So we do have this. We got higher lows. We got higher highs, and we've still got higher lows. Even with this lower angle support, we've still got higher lows. So this is a higher low here. That's why we have to hold 27 so important. Otherwise, we're kind of coming down to this 2200, and that's really kind of weak. And then you got to say, what sort of pattern do we have then forming? Do we have a sort of a weird looking W forming or not? So at the moment we want to hold this upward channel and then sort of bounce and rally out of that into the end of the year. And of course, if we do get Ethereum having a big run back up again, which I'm still expecting, no change with that, even though October hasn't really been October yet, we've still got 11 days to go. And we did have a big liquidation event. Obviously, that has a shock factor to it. And it takes probably at least maybe a week to 10 days to get over. But we might be surprised for the week coming up. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Now, that being said, we do have the 1st of November is the deadline for Trump's tariffs on China, but looks like things might play out a little bit softer there. So we'll see how that goes. That was regarding the rare earths. And of course, the rare earths was on the backdrop of Pakistan exporting, I think it was Pakistan, exporting rare earths. And that caused all sorts of stuff. And of course, also China positioning before the President Xi-Trump meeting, right? So that's kind of where we are right now. And there's always been all these rumors about President Xi and having heart attacks. And of course, there's a power play. There does seem to be some sort of power play going on. So there's lots of different factors happening at the moment. And we saw, some Chinese high-ranking Chinese member coming to New York, trying to make special meetings with Trump, and other ones turning up at trade talks, being aggressive. We're sort of seeing lots of stuff happening in between China and the US as things get repositioned. But make no mistake, it has to be done because China's a communist country, and you don't want them to be rulers of the world. If they're rulers of the world, if you think things are bad now, things only get worse, right? Things only get worse. So that's kind of the play. That's kind of the play where we are right now on the old chart. So fingers crossed, guys. We held this 27 was the bottom, and we keep this uptrend. That would be very cool. Otherwise, we're in for some more pain if the downward scenario plays out at 2200 before we have a move up to the upside, right? So at the moment, fingers crossed, we hold this on and we can, rally out of this triangle. And that would get us up to 4,400, right, to break out from kind of that line there, maybe 4,400, even a bit lower, 44,000. So that 4,000 line probably be pretty important. And we can see we had resistance at 4,600 twice here, and we had resistance at 5,600. So we'll keep a look out of it. At the moment, our side definitely I was oversold there on the daily, on the weekly, and we get rid of the overlays on the weekly. But the weekly there, you can see, we could go down further on the weekly. We're at 41, so there's no reason why we couldn't. But fingers crossed that we managed to hold off here in the zone. We have kind of been in the zone a few times before we had a bounce. We had a bounce at 39. We're at 40, 41 now. So presumably we have a chance to break out there from the old hex. Now, we do have, of course, all the bullish stuff around Richard Hart being back on the battlefield. And he's been very bullish. He's focused on PulseChain season. So we have a lot of cool catalysts there. So fingers crossed, everything goes well. And we have lots of bullish launches coming up from the whales, right? CoinWhale, XGame, Tetra, on-chain bet potentially, Mafia full game potentially, and several others that other people are working on as well. So, we could have everything lining up for a nice little rally there with all that demand. And we are seeing, better protocols being, supported, like PCock with the bridging values and Vouch and stuff like that. So there's, quite a bit of optimism to be had in those. Now, hopefully people start buying more than they start selling. As Richard said, you guys are the sell pressure. That's kind of what he said in the beginning of the year video. So, we've got to get a bit of that. We do have a lot of bot activity and a lot of players out there dumping and crashing all the time. But hopefully we get that uptrend on the play here, and we bounced at that price of 2,700 on Pulse, and it's game on. We've got Duke on the house there. Cheers, everybody. Good to see you, Duke. In any case, it's a pretty good range to DCA and accumulate as usual, and it's been a good ride for that. Now, if you compare it to the previous time, even though PulseChain had the SEC, we were actually up at higher values, right? So, the low value was down here. We bottomed out at 1600. Can you believe it, on Pulse? 1600. So, you're still getting at a pretty good range even down here compared to where it used to be. Right. So it is time for ticking there. So looking forward to it. So I think, probably is in our favor with all the bullish drivers, having Richard back on, the marketing ramping up, 1 million units. We're getting a few celebrities coming into the community as well. That's kind of helping. I almost had the name back from the person I was thinking of in the X Space, but that's kind of where it is. And just never know too, guys. You just never know what could happen there with the old chart. We might even see one of these, right? We might even see one of these just come out of the blue. You just never know.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Catch you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Get on the Gladiator games, and I'll catch you there and see if you can. It's a pretty good chance of getting a prize right now, so you might as well join up, and I'll see you there. Anyway, Tournament 7 is starting next week. It's going to be quite a few changes, a lot of big stuff happening, building up. It's only getting bigger and bigger, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Take care, everybody. I'll catch you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Is it 8 p.m. or is it 9 p.m. Eastern now? I can't remember. Got to check on that. All right, see ya. Bye.